Hey there, my loves. I am Lady Kimberly Michelle, and welcome back to Soul Health Matters, where we breathe, we choose, and we anchor. So let's go ahead and fully arrive in this moment and take our deep cleansing breaths. Okay, so we're going to ask you to inhale slowly through your nose. Hold it for about 3 seconds, and then we're going to exhale slowly through the mouth. One more time. Inhale deeply. And inhale until you feel that tightness in your chest. Hold it for 2 seconds. And go ahead and exhale slowly through your mouth. Now let's take 3 cleansing breaths. We're going to inhale peace. And then we're going to exhale defense slowly. One more time. Inhale clarity. And exhale pride. So those are our cleansing breaths where we inhale what's good for us and we exhale and release those things that are not. Now let's anchor in this moment, okay? Now, are you enjoying the guiding principles? If you would, just help me out. I would love to gather some feedback from all of my listeners. It's been such a blessing to continue to do these episodes, but I want to know that it's blessing you as well. So if you would, just drop me a star and leave a comment in the section below the podcast. I promise I will respond back to you. I always respond to the comments. Now, today's guiding principle is this: build bridges among your boundaries. Woo! I know that's going to land kind of hard, but we're going to get through it together. We are living in the age of boundaries. You know, my grandmother, we didn't have boundaries when we were growing up. My great-grandparents, we didn't have boundaries when we were growing up, right? But honestly, I'm proud of us because we have learned how to protect our inner child. We've learned how to guard our social equity because boundaries, they protect our emotional well-being, our physical safety, our emotional safety, our financial and our relational safety, and it also protects our spiritual purity. When we have properly aligned our boundaries say to other people, this is who I am, and this is what works for me, and this is what does not. And that is healthy. But here's what I have also been noticing. Along with the boundaries, we've normalized something else. We've normalized no contact. We've normalized block and delete. We've normalized you don't owe anyone closure. Protect your peace at all costs. Does some of this sound familiar? Some of that is healthy. Some of it is wisdom. But some of it is trauma reacting with sophisticated vocabulary. So here's what we're addressing today. We have to be careful that generational healing doesn't evolve and become generational isolation. There's a difference between cutting contact for safety purposes and cutting contact for ego preservation. I know that's a big that's a big word, that's a big phrase for us to start processing. But we've got to begin to digest that some boundaries need to be reevaluated. There is a difference between protecting your peace and protecting your pride. And that's where the spiritual maturity steps in. Can I offer a living mirror in the form of just a reflective question? Think about the last person you severed contact with and ask yourself this question: was I protecting my peace, or am I protecting my pride. Now, right here, I want to briefly talk about how we use therapy language and misapplied vocabulary. These days, we hear, "You're toxic," "You're gaslighting," "That's triggering," "You violated my boundary." And sometimes those words are accurate, but boundaries are sometimes mistaken for us putting a wall around ourselves and not allowing others in. Sometimes we're using therapeutic language to eliminate our discomfort. The Bible never told us we would always be comfortable. Jesus even had some uncomfortable conversations with family members. I recall him saying to his mother, "Woman, you know it's not my time." Now you know the mothers of today would have said, "Baby, you have overstepped your boundaries. You don't talk to me like that. I am your mother." But boundaries are not meant to eliminate our discomfort. They're meant to eliminate dysfunction. Discomfort can be an opportunity for growth. Dysfunction is what's harmed. But if we remove every relationship that makes us uncomfortable, we're also removing the relationships that challenge us to grow and mature us. Here's a gentle challenge. A lot of people are not setting boundaries. They are avoiding hard conversations. And a boundary without communication, that's just distance. Yet a bridge, it requires conversation. See, if you've never told someone what the boundary was and why it exists, you didn't set a boundary. You just disappeared. Think about it like this. Picture the city of Jerusalem. They have rebuilt the walls around Jerusalem many times to fortify and to protect the city. But even in the ancient city of Jerusalem, there were gates. And those gates meant you couldn't come in any old kind of way. But there was still an entry point. So a bridge says, you may not meet me over there. You can't meet me back over there anymore. But if you're willing to grow, if you're willing to own it, if you're willing to engage properly in a way that's healthy for you and I both, respectfully, then here is where you can meet me. That's what bridges do. Boundaries say this behavior is not allowed. But bridges say this is how restoration can happen. Now, thanks to social media and all the memes we get to see on a daily basis, family estrangement is rising. Friendships dissolve without conversation. Marriages end without any attempts to repair. And sometimes separation, it's necessary. But sometimes we simply skipped reconciliation. We skipped reconciliation because pride felt safer than vulnerability. See, I don't believe we can live long and experience life without having an experience with relational hurt. We're all going to experience it one way or another. We've all survived some type of abandonment. We've all survived some type of betrayal or abuse. And consequently, we've simply learned and normalized how to survive by quickly closing the doors. We can honor our survival responses while still aiming higher in our emotional and our relational maturity. In 2 Corinthians, we've been given and we've been charged with the ministry of reconciliation. In Romans, we're urged to do all that we can to live at peace with everyone. And then in Matthew 18, Jesus outlines what that process looks like. He tells us, if you're at odds with anyone, go to that person directly. And then if they won't hear you, bring in wise counsel. That's not gossip. That's just bringing someone else in that can be neutral and bring in wisdom and an opportunity to reconcile. That structure, that is clarity. That is not emotional impulsivity. But then Jesus tells us, if they still won't listen, then you release them. And I'm sure he meant release them in love, okay? He tells us to shake the dust off of our feet. That doesn't mean kick the person down the road. That just means release your baggage and whatever you might be carrying from that disagreement. You are free from that moment because you've done your part. Do you notice the balance there? That's how you set boundaries. You pursue peace, attempt reconciliation, and then release it if necessary. We don't see a lot of that happening these days. We see doors closing quickly. We see block and delete. We see children blocking parents. We'll see parents blocking children because our feelings and our emotions are involved. And it's more painful to have the conversation with someone that may not have the capacity to engage in a healthy manner. Depending on their maturity level, you might just have to meet them where they are, agree to disagree, and move on. But that doesn't necessarily mean that you throw the person or the relationship away. Now, let me make sure that I talk about what this is not, okay? We're not talking about abuse. Abuse is real. Abuse requires protection, distance, separation. We don't offer a bridge for abuse to continue. We don't offer a bridge to someone who refuses to take accountability. Okay? We don't offer a bridge to someone who has abused us but has not sought help, or they haven't demonstrated any changes and can't articulate what they did wrong. Forgiveness, it doesn't mean that we restore access to people who have abused us or taken advantage of us. But forgiveness, it does mean that your heart remains pure and it's not hardened. So, who gets a bridge? I'm glad you asked. Let's talk about it. Some people may have crossed you unknowingly, okay? Some people have crossed you and later on, they lived in regret. Those are the ones who might deserve a bridge. And time matters. Bridges are not built overnight. Bridges offer an opportunity to ask the question, has this person acknowledged the harm? Have they demonstrated consistent change? Do I even feel peace and not pressure about re-engaging with them? A lot of times family will be like, hey, I wish I would just make up and get it over with. Go call your mama. Go call your sister. Go call your brother, your dad, or your cousin, or your grandmama. We get pressure within our families from people that have nothing to do with the situation. As we used to say back in the day, this is an A and B conversation. Please see your way out of it. I love you though. When we offer a bridge, It doesn't guarantee restoration to the relationship, but it does guarantee that your heart stays aligned and pure. There is a real difference between conflict avoidance and boundaries. Here's another challenge question. Is it possible that what we have labeled as a boundary, is it possible that it's really conflict avoidance? Let's be honest. A boundary without communication is just distance. And we're not talking about people that you can't have adult conversation with, and they're flying all off the handle and calling you all types of colorful words. Not that situation, not that party. Okay? We're not talking about situations where someone has, royally abused you verbally and has closed their ears to listening, and they are committed to misunderstanding and they're not open to an alternate perspective. But bridges, they require conversation. Bridges require humility on both sides. Bridges are always going to require somebody to have the willingness to say, this hurt me, and here's what would feel safe for me moving forward. Do you see the difference? That's not weakness. That's maturity. Because we're all human. We can all be hurt. And to be honest, hurt is the root of all anger. Sometimes when we say, I'm done, what we really mean is, I refuse to be vulnerable in this space or in this relationship again. But spiritual leadership, it actually calls us higher. You can protect yourself without hardening yourself in relationship. You can still guard your peace without abandoning the responsibility of reconciliation. You can shake the dust off your feet without carrying the resentment towards that person with you. And that is anchored living. Now, here's today's anchor. Repeat after me. My boundaries protect my peace. My boundaries protect my peace. My bridges preserve my purity. My bridges preserve my purity. Now let's inhale. Hold it. And go ahead and exhale slowly. Inhale, reconciliation. And we're going to exhale the need for protection. All right. Now, I know that was a heavy message today, but I know it cleansed your heart and it makes you feel good, right? Now, if you are learning how to protect your soul without isolating your heart, if you're becoming the woman who loves wisely instead of reactively, then this journey of restoration, the restoration and rise journey, it is for you. We're not building walls of isolation. We're building cities of wisdom with gates of grace. I like that. We're building cities of wisdom with gates of grace. Hey, you can follow the podcast. Grab a book from my website at KimberlyMichelleFord.com. Also, shoot me a few stars to rate the show if you would, and share this episode with someone else who might be navigating a season of restoration. And when you're ready, no pressure, but join me inside the Restored community. That is a place where we don't rush restoration. We simply let it rise in its divine time. Hey fam, I am actually bringing this message to you today as someone who, one, understands trauma. Sometimes I feel like I've had way more than my share. But then I go read the book of Job, right? But in my human body, I feel like I've had way more than my share of trauma. But two, I'm someone who honors boundaries. I definitely understand and honor the steps that we may have to take to protect our mental and our physical wealth. But at the same time, I refuse to disciple anyone into isolation because that's just not healthy. We're better than that. I am speaking as someone who has had to build walls for survival within family. I have learned to discern which gates, if any, even need to exist. Yes, at the end of the day, I love love, but I also believe that you don't have to burn every single bridge to prove that you are healing. I encourage you to build wisely, guard well, offer grace where grace is desired, and then breathe, choose, and anchor. See you next time.